This is my 1 to 11 of players that I've played with.
First of all, Craig, what formation are you going to go with?
I think I would have to go with 4-3-3.
So who's the best goalkeeper you've ever got?
Goalkeeper, I will go with Matt Clark. I played with Mark Schwartz as well, who obviously he's at Chelsea at the moment, very, very goalkeeper. But Matt Clark should have done better than what he did. He finished his career early with an injury. I played him at Crystal Palace, a great lad, but he was one of the most underrated goalkeepers that I've seen. You know, he had a good spell with Bradford, where people probably know him for more there, but I think he should have played for England.
Who are the full-backs?
Right back, Jamie Smith, a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, spent a lot of time with him at Crystal Palace, still good friends now. You know, he's tenacious, good going forwards, not the biggest but very, very aggressive, and yeah, he'll be my right back.
Left back?
Christian Ziege, I think, you know, he's a top player, you know, German international, moved from AC Milan to Middlesbrough, you know, and then moved on to Liverpool after that and played a lot of games for Germany.
Centre-backs?
Centre-back's a tough one. It is a tough one. It's probably more so the effect that players had on me. In the first one would be Nigel Pearson. He was club captain at Middlesbrough. You know, he was a real scary man. You know, as a young kid, he was really intimidating. He was a club captain. He used to rule the dressing room. He was, you know, really old school. You know, he weren't allowed in the dressing room if you weren't invited in the dressing room. But the moment I made my first team debut, he really put his arm around me, encouraged us, made us feel one of the players, and got accepted. And that's the way it was. I think that's the way it was for a lot of old school teams. That, you know, unless you weren't in the first team, then you got sort of belittled and treated a lot differently. But as soon as you made that step up, then you're welcome with open arms. Secondly, would have been, I'd probably say, Neil Ruddock. He wasn't at his best at the time, but you could just tell, you know, he's probably finished at the time, but you could just tell he had a great left foot. You know, he's straight on the ball, he could ping a ball 60, 70, 80 yards, you know, on one end of the pitch, you know, at the end of anybody's toe on the run. He was a good player, very, very good player. I think underrated footballer, he was a good footballer.
Who are your midfield three?
Midfield three would be Paul Gascoigne, definitely. 100%. Again, he's probably come to the end of his career, but massive hero of mine. Was a Newcastle supporter as a kid. Went to watch him, you know, and in flashes he didn't disappoint in training. He's the best player I've ever seen that could play with one touch. You know, whatever pace the ball was played in, when we played around the corner, left foot, right foot, 50-yard pass, a lay, a set to take care, a slide ball, anything he could do it all. He was absolutely fantastic. He was top drawer. Secondly, in midfield, I would go with Brian Robson. I was fortunate to play with him at the right at the back end of his career again, but again he was unbelievable. I think a lot of people said about Robbo, he's obviously up and down the pitch, loved to tackle, but he was a very, very good player as well. Fantastic footballer, you know, and he was very, very demanding. I remember playing with him once, and he went absolutely crazy because I didn't give him the ball. Got in the half time and he's had another go at us, and he said, if I shout for the ball, give me the ball. Doesn't matter if there's 2-3 men on us, when I shout for it, give me the ball. So I did. Thirdly would be Paul Ince. You know, I think another one who possibly was underrated. You know, a fantastic footballer. You know, again, you know, he's a self-made governor. You know, you look at him, tackles up and down the pitch, a bit like Brian Robson, gets goals, you know, clears them off the line, that all-round midfielder. But you don't go and play in Italy at that time for Inter Milan if you're technically not good, and he was very, very good footballer as well.
Who are your front three?
Front three, centre forward would be Ravanelli. Ravanelli, without a shadow of a doubt, what a fantastic finisher. I've not seen anything like it, and I've still not seen anything like it. Even now I watch football all the time, and his finishing was fantastic. Left foot, right foot header, volley, scruffy goals, back post goals. You know, the only thing he didn't really score a lot of was goals from distance, but you know, anything 12 yards in. You know, I think the first year he came to Middlesbrough, he played in the team that got relegated, and he finished top goal scorer in the Premier League. He scored a hat-trick on his debut against Liverpool at the Riverside, and he was just, you know, he was was unbelievable. And training as well, he would just never miss. He'd just score goal after goal after goal.
Why then?
Wide men, tough one. I think you'd have to go with Paul Merson for one of them. Mercer's a very, very good player, technically very good. You know, he used to thread them passes through, you know, the outside of his foot. He's a bit of a trademark and getting the wide areas really well, and you know, scored some great goals. You look at the opposite of Ravanelli, Mercer's sort of catalogue of goals were nearly all outside the box, chips, curls, free kicks. You know, he was on a different level. He was absolutely fantastic. Other side would be Juninho. You know, it'd be hard to leave him out of the team because of his, you know, he probably didn't score as many goals as what he should have done when he was at Middlesbrough, but his play from almost the halfway line to the edge of the box was unplayable. You know, he used to go ghost past players like they weren't there. He must have only been 5'3", 5'4", and you know, 7-8 stone went through, but he could that low centre of gravity going past people, and he just almost looked a little bit like he'd run out of steam when he got to the final bit. But the amount of goals he created for the team, and you know, playing alongside Ravanelli, you know, he done great for him.
And who's the captain?
Captain, it's tough. It is a tough one. I would go with, just because of the effect he had on me overall, I'd go with Nigel Pearson. But there's obviously Brian Robson, you know, Neil Ruddock, Paul Ince, you know, very, very good captains and leaders. But now I think at the time Nigel Pearson was club captain of Middlesbrough, and he did, you know, he was a real captain that you'd love to have.